Have you ever wondered who the real giants of the Bible were, and what role they played in its grand narrative? These colossal figures, often shrouded in mystery and intrigue, have long captivated readers of the ancient scriptures, sparking curiosity and debate. Today we'll set the stage to unfold their stories, their significance, and their mark in the biblical narrative. From the dawn of creation, the Bible introduces us to a world filled with wonder, where the natural and supernatural intertwine. Among these wonders, one of the most enigmatic are the giants. Often portrayed as formidable foes, they tower over humanity, both in physical stature and in the impact they have on the narratives in which they feature. Their roles vary from belligerents to kings, from adversaries to allies, each one with a tale as towering as their stature. The mystery surrounding these biblical giants is as vast as their purported size. Their origins, often clouded in ambiguity, leaves us with more questions than answers. Are they merely symbolic figures, metaphors for the struggle between good and evil? Or were they real, living beings who walked the earth? These questions have intrigued scholars and enthusiasts for centuries, and while we may never have definitive answers, the exploration of these enigmas is a journey worth taking. These giants, whose stories we will explore, are not just characters in a book. They are the embodiment of challenges, of trials, and of victories. They are the measure against which the strength of faith, courage, and determination are tested. They are the mountains to be moved, the Goliaths to be slain. They represent the seemingly insurmountable obstacles that are overcome through faith and willpower. So, are you ready to step into a world where David meets Goliath, where kings battle giants, and where faith is tested against formidable foes? A world that, despite its ancient roots, still has lessons to teach us today? A world where the impossible becomes possible, and where giants roam the earth? Let's delve into the ancient scriptures and uncover the fascinating tales of the 7 giants of the Bible. Our first giant, Og, was a king who reigned over the kingdom of Bashan. This ancient kingdom, nestled in the fertile valleys of today's Syria and Jordan, was home to Og, a figure of remarkable stature and strength. His reign was marked by prosperity and growth, yet it was his encounter with a certain figure from biblical history that truly set his story apart. Enter Moses, the humble shepherd turned leader of the Israelites. The scriptures tell us of a clash between Moses and Og, a battle of biblical proportions, if you will. Og, confident in his might, sought to quash the Israelite invaders. However, he underestimated the power of faith and the will of a people seeking their promised land. In a twist of fate, the mighty Og was defeated, his rule over Bashan coming to an abrupt end. Despite his formidable stature and power, Og fell to the Israelites, marking the first tale of a giant's downfall. Perhaps the most well-known of all biblical giants, Goliath, struck fear in the hearts of the Israelites. This Philistine warrior, towering above all, dared to challenge the armies of Israel to single combat. His booming voice echoed across the valley, a chilling call for any champion courageous enough to face him. In the midst of this terror, emerged a young shepherd boy named David, with no armor, no sword, just a simple sling and a heart full of faith. Goliath laughed at the sight, but David was undeterred. He had faced lions and bears while protecting his flock, and he saw Goliath as no different. The stone whirled through the air, guided by divine providence, and found its mark. The giant fell, the earth shaking with his descent. Goliath's defeat by the young David remains one of the most iconic tales of overcoming insurmountable odds. Did you know Goliath had brothers? Yes, 3 of them in fact, and they were giants too. Now this is where the tale takes an interesting turn. Let's dive into the stories of Lami, Saph, and the nameless giant who were all brothers of the infamous Goliath. First, there's Lami. If you thought Goliath was a force to be reckoned with, imagine facing his brother. Lami was a giant in his own right, and his name, meaning bread, perhaps alludes to his substantial size. He had a reputation of his own, one of strength and intimidation. But, like his brother, Lami met his end at the hands of an Israelite warrior. It was Elhanan, a soldier in King David's army, who brought down this formidable giant. Next we have Saph, another brother of Goliath. Saph was a giant who held his ground in battle, but even he was no match for the Israelite warriors. Saph was defeated by Sibbecai, a member of David's elite group of warriors known as the 30. His demise was yet another testament to the might of the Israelites, a people chosen by God. Then there's the nameless giant, the 3rd brother of Goliath. He was known for his 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, a total of 24 digits. A trait that singled him out as a giant. Even without a name, his story is impactful. He too faced off against an Israelite warrior, and like his brothers, he was defeated, further emphasizing the power and bravery of the Israelite warriors. These stories of Lami, Saph, and the nameless giant serve as reminders of the Israelites' triumphs over seemingly insurmountable odds. They were not just fighting ordinary men, but giants, symbols of great power and might. Yet they emerged victorious time and time again. Just like their famous brother, these giants met their end at the hands of the Israelites, further cementing the legend of the giant-slaying nation. Our final giants are Anak and his sons, known as the Anakim. The Anakim were a formidable race of giants whose reputation preceded their physical presence. Their lineage was said to be from the Nephilim, a mysterious group of beings mentioned in the book of Genesis. Anak, the patriarch, held significant influence, and his sons were no less impactful. Anak and his sons resided in Hebron, a city in the land of Canaan, which was promised to the Israelites by God. They were known for their great size and strength, which struck fear into the hearts of those who encountered them. Their presence in the land posed a significant obstacle for the Israelites, who saw them as threatening and insurmountable. The Anakim were first mentioned when Moses sent 12 spies to explore the Promised Land. 10 of these spies returned with a discouraging report, describing the inhabitants as giants, so large that the Israelites felt like grasshoppers in comparison. This report created a wave of fear and doubt among the Israelites, who began to question their ability to conquer the land. However, 2 of the spies, Joshua and Caleb, saw things differently. They believed that with God's help, they could overcome the giants. And indeed, as the narrative unfolds, the Anakim were eventually defeated. Joshua, who later became the leader of the Israelites, led a successful campaign against them, driving them out of the land. The story of Anak and his sons is a significant part of the biblical narrative. Their intimidating stature and the fear they induced among the Israelites served as a test of faith. It challenged the Israelites to trust in God's promise, despite the apparent odds stacked against them. Their intimidating presence and eventual downfall marked the end of the era of the biblical giants. Their story serves as a reminder of the power of faith and courage, and the ultimate triumph of God's people over seemingly insurmountable obstacles. So, what can we take away from these stories of biblical giants? Well, let's start with Og, the last of the Rephaim, a race of giants who ruled the land before the Israelites. His size and strength were legendary, but his downfall serves as a stark reminder that physical prowess alone isn't enough to secure victory. Then there's Goliath, the infamous Philistine giant. Despite his intimidating size and formidable armor, David, a mere shepherd boy, defeated him with a single stone. His story underscores the power of faith and courage over brute strength. The tales of Goliath's brothers, giants in their own right, further emphasize this point. Each of them, despite their size and strength, met their end at the hands of David and his men. Their stories serve as a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will, proving that no adversary is too great when one stands firm in their faith. Finally, we have Anak and his sons. These giants, feared and revered by many, were defeated by Joshua and the Israelites. Their downfall illustrates the power of unity and collective strength. It teaches us that when we stand together in faith, we can overcome even the most daunting challenges. Each of these giants, in their own way, played a significant role in the biblical narrative. They were formidable adversaries, their size and strength a symbol of the seemingly insurmountable challenges we all face in life. Yet each of their stories ends in defeat, a testament to the power of faith, courage, and unity. These tales of the giants, filled with intrigue and lessons, continue to resonate, reminding us of the ever-present battle between fear and faith, between the seemingly insurmountable and the power of belief. Through their downfalls, we learn that no matter how giant our problems may seem, they can be overcome with the right mindset. These tales of the giants, filled with intrigue and lessons, continue to resonate, reminding us of the ever-present battle between fear and faith, between the seemingly insurmountable and the power of belief.